Are you an artist? Are you selfish? I bet you have heard at least one person saying why artists are so selfish. On Google, on Quora, you can easily find questions like this. The selfish artist has been an established stereotype across the world. Both my parents are artists, but I do not think of them being more selfish than any other parents or any other people. And I don't think artists are inherently more selfish than any other creative professionals. But I started to doubt it ever since I experienced it myself. 2 years ago, we launched the open call in order to find emerging artists to work with. One of those artists who approached us is a young lady in her early 20s named Elsa. So I sit down with Elsa in this cafe listening to her career prospects. When I reviewed her social media strategy, I realized that her name has been taken by another Elsa in the music industry. It's a singer in her early 30s. It would be complicated to compete using this name in the creative industry. So I suggested her to use an artist name or combining her first name with her second family name. Yes, second family name is a thing in Spain. And why not take advantage of this cultural heritage? I would want a second family name too. But she refused my suggestion right away and shouted at me with rage. I am the Elsa. She can't use my name. So I tried to explain to her that social media accounts and domain names, they are first come, first served. Since the other Elsa is 10 years older than her, perhaps she has registered this domain name 10 years ago. If you want this domain name, you could contact her and buy this name from her. And you just need to negotiate and perhaps prepare some money. But she was not very convinced with my reasoning and continued to shout at me. It's not fair. I'm the only Elsa. The name was given to me by my parents. I was born as Elsa and no one else should be able to use my name. As the conversation progressed, she had a few ideas, besides recovering her domain name and social media accounts, such as making a new website, moving into a new studio space, and she asked me if I could provide any of those for her for free. Well, it was the first time I met her. I did not know her or know anybody around her. I'm not a family member. I'm not a friend. And I didn't understand what she meant, like giving things for free. Okay, so I said, all right, if you are willing to collaborate and work on this collaborative artist project with us. But then she told me, I'm busy. It's hard to start a career as an artist. I don't have time for it, I just need to really put all the time in my projects. So I was like, okay, you don't want to spend any time, you don't want to spend any money, you want everything but willing to give nothing in return. I'm not in. I just thought she was too selfish to work with, so our paths did not cross again. And this story has been bothering me for the past 2 years. But today, I think I realized the real reason behind her selfishness. It would be too simple to say she was just one of the selfish artists, or artists are just selfish. There must be a reason behind it. She was indeed very self-centered and refused to understand the wants and needs of others. But why? I believe the real reason being the inflated sense of entitlement. If someone has a strong sense of entitlement, that means the person believes he or she deserves certain privileges and arrogant about it. Companies often complain millennials don't work hard enough and they are very hard to work with. The millennials come out of school thinking they are special and they are going to occupy important positions in their next jobs. Perhaps they were told so. However, they may not get what they want right away. Doing well at school does not mean doing well at work. Sometimes those skills are not transferable and you have to start from beginning. They got really frustrated and quit. The employers say, why can't millennials just come down to earth and focus on the tasks at hand? And the millennials say, hey, I was taught to run a company. I have a bachelor in business administration. Now, all day I just run errands. It's not fair. The sense of entitlement could be broken down into 2 layers. Number 1, I am exempted from responsibility. If something needs to be done, someone else should get it done, not me. In most of European countries, in order to practice, in order to be economically active, you need to pay a freelance quota, such as street vendors, photographers, consultants, and artists. We all need to pay this quota every month, and it could easily go up to 300 euros per month. I asked many artist friends of mine in Europe, do you pay this quota? And they told me, oh, it doesn't make any sense for me to pay so much. I'm not paying for it. I'm an artist. Wait, I don't remember my accounting professor telling me that artists are exempted from tax responsibilities. Someone has to pay for the universal health care and free education. If you want these things to happen, you have to be responsible. Number 2, I am owed special treatment. Because I'm an artist, I need other people to treat me with extra attention and generosity. An artist friend of mine complained his Amazon package was a day late. He said, this is not acceptable, it's not fair, how can they do that to me? I need my package today. And I was like, hey, the painting you promised to ship it to me was a year late. You probably haven't started it. And that's okay, like other people cannot be a day late or even a minute late, but it was okay for you to be a year late. That's a serious double standard. The sense of entitlement is a spectrum. We all fall onto some part of this spectrum. It is not a totally negative thing for us to have this sense of entitlement. It helps us to survive and helps us to gain self-esteem. Crybabies get the milk, but having an inflated sense of entitlement could really hurt your career as a creative professional. Artists usually work alone, but they rely on many other people to make a living, such as gallerists, agents, art critics, even photographers who capture the image of the artworks. Maintaining a healthy professional relationship would benefit your network and productivity. Displaying supremacy and arrogance would make you hard to work with, and you cannot succeed if nobody wants to work with you. You may be just sitting there and waiting for other people to solve your problems and fulfill your needs. If no one comes to help you, you may waste your lifetime waiting. Imagine if you're waiting for a taxi to bring you to your next destination, but for whatever reason, and there are no taxis coming, perhaps they're on strike. You can rent a car, you can rent a bike, even walk. It may be faster getting to where you want to get this way, instead of waiting for things to happen for you. Oscar Wilde once said, art is the most intensive form of individualism the world has ever known. Perhaps he was right, but is there a cure to this inflated sense of entitlement? I would recommend this simple exercise. Perhaps it could help you. Take a sheet of paper and a pen. Think of a scenario when you got really upset at other people in a personal or professional environment. Draw what has happened during this disagreement. Pay close attention to the persons you were mad at. Describe the story from your perspective. And then, after you are done, retell the story in the shoes of another person, especially the ones who made you really upset. I believe if we could put ourselves in the shoes of other people more often, we could understand others better and perhaps prevent the self-centeredness. Maybe being selfish is an artist thing, or a millennium thing, or just a human thing. When you believe that you're doing something more important than others, that you should receive more attention or special treatment than other people, beware. Perhaps you're falling into this entitlement trap. Please do remind yourself of your responsibilities and keep doing the good work towards reaching your goals. Thank you for watching this video and see you next time.